Onwards, welcome back to episode 33 of the Chaotic Updates. This is where we talk all about books, knitting and crocheting. But today it's only gonna be knitting and crocheting. I have finished a lot of books recently, but they're all for upcoming vlogs. So we're not spoiling it. So we're not gonna talk about them today. If the knitting and crocheting is not for you, I'm sorry. There will be a new episode in the next 2 weeks. And I have made a lot of book recommendations lately, so you can watch those instead. And otherwise, there's a lot of book content coming to you from halfway September onwards. So I hope it's okay. And with that being said, let's just dive into the making. I am sorry if the lighting is weird, but it is 33 degrees outside today. So I had to keep this is the biggest window in my house. So I had to keep the blinds down to not let the sun in. And I'm waiting for the evening, so the sun isn't as powerful. But now we have a light beam and a not so light beam. I'm sorry, but this is what we're working with. My first finished object is the Practical Witch Hat by Tiny Owl Knits, or finished for now. Because this is the reason why. So it doesn't keep sitting as upright as I would like, but I think that's fine. However, the big issue is this flap, which should be here. This is because the felting process didn't go right. However, this hat has been felting in the wash machine and the dryer for 11 and a half, maybe 12 hours. So I don't think it is gonna be better if I keep putting it in the washing machine at this point. Let me put it off because it's easier to talk to you this way. As you can see, you know, it isn't felted as well as I would like it to be. Obviously, yeah, you're not gonna see it's black yarn. How more felted it is, how stiffer it is, and I want it stiff because I want the top to be upright. Like, it can be bendy a bit, but like if it stayed like this, that would be great. It does not. And then I wanted it to dry like this, so the flaps would be just staying. In the pictures of the pattern, it does. And she states that you need to buy feltable wool, which I thought I did because I bought 100% wool. No superwash, no nothing. Just 100% wool, which should be feltable, right? But this is it in like 11 and a half hours in the washing machine as well as the dryer. The washing machine seemed to work a bit better, and I went hard with the washing machine. So I put this in the washing machine on 90 degrees Celsius. That was the highest my washing machine can go. When I Google, because she says just on high in their pattern, when I Googled, they were all talking about 40 or 60. And I was like, you know, I tried 60 and it wasn't working well. I was like, let's go 90. And then, you know, because it took so long, I even put it in there for like 2 hours and 45 minutes every single time. I put towels in there as well. I did put it in a pillowcase, which was a good thing because all the fuss got out and then it just kept in the pillowcase, so it kept all the towels fuss free. But I got like 2 towels in there, and I bought those balls with the spikes for in the washing machine, so it would, you know, get a lot. It will beat up a lot, but yeah, I can still see some stitch definitions. I still see the columns. I don't see every stitch anymore, but I can see the columns of stitches still. And it's obviously not stiff enough to hold up the brim. So what I think I will need to do, preferably I would hand felt this now. But I do not have the physical strength or capacity or anything at this moment for this. That is just how it is. That is my disease. I can't help it. We just have to live with it. So I don't think hand felting is in the cards for me. So I think I have to adjust, or, you know, accept that this is gonna fall down a bit, which is still, I think it's still fine. As long as it's not keeping like this, if it's up like this, it's fine. And then I will put, how does she call it? Yeah, she says, be sure to get something that's 100% wool or animal fiber. I got that. Yeah, so I will wire my brim. You don't need to. She has one picture with a head that is brimmed with wire, and then there is one where there is no wire in the brim, and it stands up enough. Mine does not. I don't know what went wrong with the felting process. Is it supposed to take this long? Is it normal to take over 12 hours? Or, you know, if you have any tips, let me know. Because I would prefer it to be more felted than this. But I cannot do it myself in very hot water with a brush. I do not have the physical ability to do that right now. So if there is an easy way for me to still get more results, please let me know. Otherwise, I will just wire the brim and accept that this is gonna be not as sturdy as I want it to be. But that is my finished object. I have knit this with Drops Charisma 100% wool in the color black. It's color 5. On 7mm needles. My gauge was a tiny bit tighter than the pattern, so I just upped the needle and then I was fine. And then I worked on 2 different projects that I already put on the needles before. I worked a tiny bit on the Easy Now shawl by Miriam Molake. This is how far I am. I don't know if you see a lot of difference. But I started the 5th sequence. So now I need to do another lace part, and then it's one more repeat. And then I'm done. Or that is how much repeats she recommends in the pattern. However, the pattern is for DK weight. And I am knitting it in fingering weight. I absolutely love the drape of it. And when I hit this repeats as stated in the pattern, I will go ahead, block this on, try it on tubing, see how far mine blocks out, like how long it is and how wide it is, and what it is supposed to be, which length and width. And then I will decide if I do more repeats or not, if they're necessary. We'll see, but I really love it. But yeah, I just did one. How is it called? It's not called vanilla knitting because that's, you know, straight in the round or straight and... Oh, why can't I think of English words today? Normally I can't think of Dutch knitting terms, so it's very weird that I cannot think of the English ones instead. But yeah, but if you knit flat and you still knit straight, I did one of those. Just a chunk, just one stripe of those, and that's all I did on this shawl. The most time for me is put in on my Lusk Tee by Clow. I'm this far in now. This has been laying down for a bit. I finished my ball and I really wanted to either start the sleeves or start the ribbing when I would finish that ball. And we were on vacation when that happened, obviously. And I do not want to either start a new technique because there's a lateral braid before the ribbing. You don't have to do it, but it is one of the options and I would like to do it. And I've never done it before, so that is not something I want to do on the go while in the car. And the sleeves had some short rows in it, which isn't that hard, but I also don't want to do in a car. And then when I got back from vacation, my brain was fried. It did not have as many things to deal with as in that week since a long time. So it was fried, and I just did not want to do either the sleeves or a new technique. So I decided to just add another ball of yarn and still work on the body. At least then I can still get something done on this t-shirt instead of it just laying down waiting for my headspace to be in the right place. And I'm currently on 18 centimeters of the body. In a pattern she advised to be 24 or 4 until, you know, you feel like you're done. So I will have to be able to fit it soonish. But for that I would like sleeves and color. That's why I wanted to do that in the first place. So I think I will just knit another 6 centimeters and then, or if my headspace is open sooner, to a lateral braid, because I have to cut my yarn for that anyway, I figured. Out when watching the tutorials she provided. It's not a tutorial she made, she links to somebody else that she loves the technique the most of. So that tutorial said that you have to cut it. So I don't think it matters if I start another ball and then I have to cut it anyway before I start the ribbing. And I might just do that with another ball too, because I also really didn't want to put this on try-on tubing and the whole hustle. So I think I just start the neckline with a new ball and put another set of needles on there, especially since that is smaller needles anyway, so I don't even need to change the tips, which I can. It's an interchangeable set, but so this is going well. And now it is super hot again outside. I am definitely more motivated to finish the tee now. The same goes for the Piper pocket dress. I didn't brought it with me because nothing changed. All I need to do is the pockets. And that is still what I need to do. I looked through the description, you know, the instructions of the pockets. Didn't get it. That happens sometimes to me. Then I just need to take it word by word and do exactly what the pattern stated. And then when I'm doing it, I will get it. And we were going on vacation, so I didn't want to do that. And then again, my brain was fried, so I didn't want to do that. But now it's 33 degrees outside again. I want my dress. So I'm now more motivated to make the pockets. What I have been doing when I did not want to do sleeves, collars, or pockets is either the So Easy Now shawl, but I also started a new project. I have started the Haunted Videotape Blanket by Altknots. It's a 100 day to Halloween crochet along. And their blanket is red, white, and black. They have red squares with a videotape on it, and they have black squares with a ghosty on it. I will make the black squares with a ghosty on it. So this is my first black square. But instead of the red squares, I am using all different kind of Halloween colors, like this. And this. So I will not be making, and I don't really watch a lot of video or movies anyway, so I won't be making the videotape appliques. Those squares are just gonna be plain and colorful. The other thing I did is, because I wanted to make this blanket to use up my Halloween sock yarn scraps. So my blanket is made in fingering weight. Their blanket is made in worsted weight. Which is kind of a big difference. Which is fine because it's a blanket. And I did cohere to all stitch counts. So my squares are just smaller than their squares. But they have the same stitch count, so I can just make the ghost appliques with white sock yarn. And they're gonna fit on my square. Because I did adhere to this stitch count. So if you're looking to make that blanket, it is a very easy modification if you have leftover yarn in a different weight. I think their blanket is like bed size. Mine is gonna be couch blanket. So I will be making 4 squares instead of the 3 squares that they have. And I will make 2 colored ones and 2 black ones for the rows with the squares. Then it's wide enough to be a couch blanket, and that's what it's gonna be. I just see myself vlogging for Halloween with a cute blanket on the couch. Or me under the cute blanket, most likely. So that is the plan. Currently it's week 3. And we're supposed to make the 3rd square. So technically I am done. I have done the things they have asked for. However, because I want 4 squares in a row, I am working on my 4th square, which is going to be a black one again. I am making this blanket out of Hobie Halloween sock yarn. Every sock yarn that I already made a pair of, but I also weighted it, so it is safe for me to start a square from the skeins that I haven't made a sock yet from, because then I can still make Halloween socks out of them. So these were from my green witchy socks, because I didn't get to the purple in that sock. But it is in my blanket and I love this color. I wish this was the socks, but the stripes were just too big. This is from the Dracula socks that I recently finished. And then the black yarn is also from Hobie, but it's the line with the long skeins that they have all year round. Is it Disco? I'm not sure. But it is all Hobie sock yarn. I am enjoying this blanket immensely. It is so easy to crochet. Altknots gives out a free tutorial every week if you need to do something new. If not, they just post a video by saying, hi, this is what we're doing this week. The tutorial is already out. Go check it out if you need it. But otherwise, you need to make a square. That's basically what has happened the past 3 weeks. So I feel like if you want in, you definitely can still go in. They made a whole magazine full of 100 movies to watch, a weekly planner, a monthly planner, the pattern for the blanket, the tea recipes that they use from tea from their local yarn store. But if you do not have the funds, you can just look at their tutorials, because they're extremely clear and they specify every week what you have to do. They even pause the video so you can make screenshot of their planner. They're lovely. I'm just doing it that way and it is so much fun, so I would recommend. And that was the only new project. So kind of only worked on 4 projects this 2 weeks, which I think is better for me. The lower the number of projects I'm working on, the faster I see my work in it, the faster I see results, and that drives me. However, I do have acquisitions. I'm not gonna show you all because I've been on holiday and it has been too much. But I have bought one sweater quantity, and it's a Zeker Highland wool, which is 100% wool. I got it in a cute yarn shop. I don't know exactly. They have a podcast. It's called In het Wol Atelier. I can't remember if it was in Eindhoven or Den Bosch. But it was super duper cute. It is basically you walk into somebody's garage. But then there's this whole little wool shop. And they even had a basket of free yarn you could take. It was adorable. It was lovely. If I find it, I will link it down below. I will definitely link down their podcast. And that's where I bought the Highland Wool by Isaker. It's such a stunning color. There was a very stunning purple, but it was already taken by another lady, so I did not I did not steal it. But that would definitely go back. I know Sarah from It's a Sarah has mentioned that store before. And the store has also been on the Knit to Pearl 2 festival. It's so annoying. I can't think of the name. I'm so sorry. The yarn is currently living in my Frankenstein ball. I think he's just gonna be my yarn ball now. Or, you know, project ball maybe. Isn't he cute? Also bought that on holiday. But how good is it that we finally got Frankenstein stuff in the Netherlands? I love it. And then to top off the Frankenstein theme, I also got Mary Shelley Monster Hunter Volume 1. And I bought this in Eindhoven. Which makes me think the yarn store was also in Eindhoven. And it's Appo, the comic book store. I'm very excited about this. Very curious to see where the story is taking me. But Mary Shelley Monster Hunter sounds good to me. And that's it. The house is already warming up from just this tiny bit of open window. So time for me to shut up and, you know, do the outro of this video so the window can be closed again. I hope you like this video, even though there was only knitting and crocheting today. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more chaos from yours truly. I would highly recommend you subscribe. The spooky season is coming along. And that's the season where I live for. That's the season where I produce the most content. And in my honest opinion, the most fun content. So you don't want to miss that. And I hope to see you in the next one.